Basketball. That's the intro now. John's here. Hi, John.
What's up? I'm imagining there's music, but there's probably not, huh?
No, the music's over because
Cool.
we're in the show now. Welcome to
All
Quarter
right.
3, a video game pod. Nope. Fuck. Hey, everybody.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Let's go.
Let's go. Welcome to Corner 3, Fanbyte's premier basketball podcast where we talk about basketball and nothing else. I'm one of your hosts, Nicholas Grayson. With me today, I have John Warren. Welcome to the show.
That's me, baby. Thanks. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, friend of the site, John
Friend
Warren.
of the site. Yep.
On this podcast, I'm sure a handful of you got this notification after following us for the good stream that's happening later, Merit Souls, or the other good stream that's happening later.
Yeah, we got a few bad streams today, and this is one of them.
This is one
but they're
of them.
Good streams later. Yeah.
So sorry about that, but joke's on you. You're already here, and you got the notification. We talk about basketball on this one. John.
We do. Yeah.
I sent you a list of topics while I was driving to Target this morning.
You did, yeah.
They were.
I agreed with them.
Yeah. They were. Bulls and Knox are real.
You did. You did send me Knox is real. Knox are real.
Knox are real. The second topic, I forgot. Do you remember what it was?
I have it, but we should get to them in order.
Wait, no, but I want people to know them.
Oh,
so they can
all right.
prepare.
So the second one is new rules killed James Harden.
Yeah. And then the third one is least favorite League Pass commercials.
Which is a great topic. I've got a few lined up.
I also have a few lined up. John Warren.
Yeah.
Bing Bong. Bing motherfucking Bong. Do you not know about Bing Bong?
From Inside Out?
Nope. Yeah, I'm talking about Bing Bong from Inside Out. Well, now we're going to have to watch the video. You're making me decide.
You can't watch Inside Out on our stream.
No,
we'll get
not.
taken down.
It's different.
We could just have Richard Kind come on the show.
No, we can't.
We could.
Oh no,
Merritt,
I confused
Merritt, you're there
for the John Candy for a second.
Yeah, John Candy's dead.
Yeah, that's why I thought Richard Kind was dead, because I thought he was John Candy for a moment.
All right, Merritt can get Richard Kind. Thanks, Merritt.
I need to do window capture. I need to separate this tab out. Now this is good. That's a lot of people were like, "Why'd you make this show a live show?" It's so I could do this, so we could suffer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now I click on window capture, and then I go down here, and I click on this one, right? And then I go over. I kind of do this.
Oh, yeah. Bing Bong. Fuck,
no,
I forgot about
too late. Now everybody.
No, we should watch it. It's great. It's a great video.
So I'm scrolling down, and I gotta make it smaller, and then I gotta do this to make it full screen.
There you go.
And I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna just put it right over our faces.
Yeah.
And then,
do that.
Chat should be able to hear it. Here we go. Bing Bong.
Double fucking overtime! What the fuck, baby? New York is fucking back!
Knicks are here, baby! The Knicks are fucking here, baby!
Fresh out the garden, baby! We're taking it all the way!
We had de Blasio, we had Cuomo, it was rough shit, but we have the Knicks! That's New York! Knicks run New York City!
Bing bong! Tell me a little something, KD. Don't you regret not
Coming
coming
to the Knicks!
Don't you regret not coming to the
Knicks!
Let's go, Knicks! Let's go, Knicks! Let's go, Knicks!
Real talk, I'm from New York, and you know what? Tom Brady's a fucking bitch! Fuck Tom Brady, yo! Fuck Tom Brady!
Where the bread at, Tom Brady? I need some bread, nigga. He owe me.
Fuck Boston! Yo, you thought Trae Young was still good? He still ain't good at Dyke, man. You smoking on that Boston pack tonight, you heard?
Fuck Trae Young! Fuck Trae Young! Fuck Trae Young! Fuck Trae Young!
Anyway.
It's a really good video.
I legitimately think this video should win an Emmy. And that's not me doing a comedy joke. I think this video deserves an Emmy. and they have sports Emmys.
Yeah.
They probably could get a sport. Do you know how easy it is to get a sports Emmy?
It's pretty easy to get a sports
Pretty
Emmy.
easy.
Yeah. And Joe Buck has
Joe Buck has 35 of them probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jimmy Johnson has 185 sports Emmys.
Don't talk shit about Jimmy Johnson. Okay?
I will forever.
Unless it's the NASCAR
one. Anyway, Bing Bong.
Bing
That's
Bong.
one of my favorite videos ever.
It's a great one.
It's an incredible video. It is wild that it happened on the first day of the season because no video Side Talk makes this year about this unless they win the finals, where someone will literally die on the street outside of Madison Square Garden. No video will be as good as this one. John, the New York Knicks are good actually, huh?
They're very good, and I think we knew that they would be good, but as I kind of just revisit their starting five, or at least their typical starting five, it's one of those teams that like they're no scrubs on that starting five. Like all those players, I would accept into pretty much any role on my favorite basketball team. And Julius Randle is as good as he seemed he was last year.
Yeah.
And he turned out to be, I think, one of those sneaky good players that I think smart LA Lakers fans knew he was going to be good. But did you know that? Okay. And then he left.
Did he leave?
Well, he was moved. Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
But I think smart Lakers fans, because I'm not a Lakers fan, but I follow a lot of smart Lakers fans. Mm-hmm. They were all fairly upset when Julius Randle left, and I think I see why. I think he's a very talented player. He almost had a triple-double last night against the Bulls in a 1-point victory, and they look really good, and they win tough games.
Yeah.
They won that Boston game. They won that Bulls game last night. And that's typically the mark of a very good team.
Yeah.
The ones that can win those tough games.
Yeah. And the Bulls, their opponent last night, led by DeMar DeRozan, who did airball the final shot, which is tough. But that happens.
Yeah,
that's basketball, you know? They got 138 more games, you know?
Hey, listen, LaMelo, not LaMelo. Carmelo Anthony also airballed against the Thunder, so. No one's perfect, you know what I mean?
Anyway, the Chicago Bulls are also good, too.
They're also really good. The Bulls are so funny because it shows the it's such an NBA 2K thing of what if I put a bunch of 85 players on my team?
Yeah. Yeah,
what if I put
a bunch of 85s and then a bunch of 65s, and then by the end of the season, everybody has kind of leveled out to 79.
Yeah.
But that's good enough.
But that's good. That's a lot of depth.
Round. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And it's really interesting. I mean, I think DeMar DeRozan was a really smart addition for this team in the offseason. Airball aside, he just does everything well.
Yeah. He was the perfect San Antonio Spur.
He was. He really was.
Like his fundamentals game
Mr. Fundamentals.
Is incredible. I think Pop just let him go because he was like, this team's not going anywhere. You still have a couple of years left. Go try to win something.
Well, Pop's team right now is blowing 20-point leads to a Mavericks team that doesn't look very good. So
I don't know anything about blowing big leads this week. There was a while where I was like, LeVar Ball, kind of. Yeah. Made very loud man.
Very loud
man. And I was like, there's something about the last 8.5 months of watching. Well, the third one is playing professional basketball. Also, he was right.
He's right. He was right.
He was right.
He was right.
Like it wasn't just like they're his kids. He loves his kids, but like
he was like, no,
he was
Really?
right. Like he was
Yeah.
legitimately correct. Two of his kids are transcendent parts of their teams,
Yeah.
and are like changing the way that those teams run their offenses.
Yeah.
And like they are Lonzo at least very early in the running for most improved player of the year.
Oh,
I
sure.
would
Yeah.
put him on that list.
Oh, yeah. I would too.
So
Well, he's 24.
And he's
too.
24.
That's
That's
pretty scary
that's the-
for his game
yeah.
to get to where he is now at 24 is scary because he's not an elite athletic inside player that's going to rely on his body for a long time. So it's like he makes a lot of good decisions in fundamental aspects of the game. And if he's this good at 24, he'll be at least this good probably for the rest of his career.
Yeah. He's got like CP3 in him
Yeah.
a little
That's
bit.
a big comparison.
Yeah, but
yeah.
like his basketball IQ is like if you give him another 10 years of playing professional basketball,
I'll take it.
I can
Yeah.
see those two things lining up.
Yep.
Injuries like notwithstanding. And like you said, Lonzo is 24.
I think
Julius
he is.
Randle is I think 26 or 27.
Mhm. Yeah.
Which is how old I am, so that's cool.
Yeah. Just like that's funny. I look at you and I'm like, yeah, that's Nikki. That's a 26-year-old. When I look at Julius Randle, I'm like,
no, yeah, it's a different
38?
Yeah, 30, 50.
Just 50. Yeah, just as a very bulky, old-looking person.
Could pick both of us up with one hand.
Oh, 100%.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Put us both in a little shopping bag.
Could
throw
palm us
over.
both.
Yeah, easy.
Just kind of juggle us.
I think one of the most frustrating things about right now, as we pivot to talking about our own teams who both blew. Well, you were on the other side of a blown lead.
I'm on the other side of that, but I still have problems.
We blew a lead. The roughest part about being a Los Angeles Laker fan currently, other than watching Russell Westbrook throw the ball away just kind of for fun, is that there was at one point in time the Los Angeles Lakers, the year before that we had LeBron, and like we did win a title. That is, I understand this. I'm very happy about the 2020 ring. Blah, blah, blah,
It's a weird looking glass monkey's paw of what the Raptors did.
Yes.
Yeah.
We at the same time had Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Julius Randle, D'Angelo Russell.
I do keep forgetting about that one. Yeah.
And then Nick Young. Incredible basketball. No. And then we had some guys. All of those guys were like 20 years old. AKA they were children who had not played professional basketball for very long.
Correct.
And the thing that is happening now is that they are entering the beginning of their primes because they've been playing basketball professionally. And you know what?
Really good.
They're all really good at basketball.
They're all really good.
It's like they drafted the guys because they were gonna be good at basketball, and they just needed to wait a couple of years.
If you had Lonzo at 1, D'Angelo Russell at 2,
Don't do this to me.
Brandon Ingram at 3, Julius Randle at 4, you could put a fucking broom at 5. and you would win 52 games.
Yeah.
So like it's a little weird. Yeah.
Like we got one, I guess.
Like you could have gotten like a Thaddeus Young to be a 5 in that starting lineup, and it would have been fine.
I would have been fine with Luol Deng at the 5. Who we're still giving money every year.
Yeah.
Just grim watching. When I knew we were going to lose that game against the Thunder.
Yeah, win.
As soon as I turned it on. I turned the game on in the third quarter. It was the beginning of the third quarter, and if you're using League Pass, they let you pick the feed that you watch. And I was like, well, I'm gonna watch the home feed because I like Stu, and the other guy whose name I'm forgetting. Also, I love them because they always travel. They refuse to call games from home. They always are on the plane, and they always call the games when they're away. So, like, you can, like, the camera will pan across the media table, and you'll see them. They're just, like, squished, because obviously that never happens for any other team. They're squished at the end of the table like this, with the microphone like this. And he's like, Jack in the Box, if we win and hold the opponent team to under 111 points, you'll get free tacos at Jack in the Box. But as soon as I turned it on, they were interviewing Austin Reeves' dad, who I guess lives in Oklahoma or something, question mark. And the reporter, the sideline reporter for Spectrum Sportsnet was like, so you've kind of been, what's it like? Because I guess him and Malik Monk played AAU together, or played in college together or something. Yeah. And the sideline reporter was like, what's it like watching these two kids who, well, one is your literal son, the other one basically grew up in your house. What is it like watching them together on the Los Angeles Lakers? And my guy goes, well, I think we would have won the other night if Malik took the shot, and instead someone else took the shot and didn't make it. And I was like, oh, we're losing this one. We were up by 22 at the time. And I was like, oh, this one's over. You know what, John?
Like, okay, LeBron didn't play.
Yeah, but you know who? Okay, sure.
You know, okay, I know what you're gonna say. But you know who did play? Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook. Okay, I get that.
Yeah,
I get that. And when you go over and look at the roster top to bottom of the Thunder, it's not great.
It's Shy and then 10 brooms.
Yeah, it's not a great team. Yeah, I mean, you've got Luguentz Dort, who's got the best name in the NBA.
It's a good name,
but not a great player. A good defender, but not a great player.
27 points.
Yeah, they blew that lead. And then Giddey, the Thunder rookie, almost nearly gave the game back to
They tried to
LA,
give it back to us so many times.
One of the worst inbound passes I think I've ever seen, straight to Carmelo Anthony, and Carmelo Anthony airballed the winning shot.
It's fine though, because Melo is shooting 54.4% from three.
No, he's having a great season.
It's
Carmelo is having a really good season.
Everyone was like, what if Olympic Melo shows up in the NBA?
And he kind of did.
And he finally did it. He found him, tapped him on the back. Yeah. He's wearing the USA jersey underneath. That's what he doesn't tell people. He hadn't done that yet, but he just puts the USA jersey on underneath. Anyway, this Lakers team fucking blows. It's terrible.
Are you ready to trade? Are you ready to trade some people?
Buddy Hield.
You want to get Buddy Hield?
Well, Buddy Hield has the second highest points per. It's one of those weird stats where they like you're.
Like weighted shots.
Yeah. He's second in the league after Steph Curry.
So that's pretty good company.
That's pretty good company to keep.
Yeah.
It's also really cool to watch the Washington Wizards and kind of see Kyle Kuzma and Montrezl Harrell and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope just kind of like pop the fuck off, and now the Wizards are kind of 4-1, and you're like,
yeah,
cool.
There's something about those big market classic teams that, you know, they run their teams a very certain way. There are such unbelievably high expectations. I've seen this with the Cowboys. I think you see it with the Yankees. I think you see it with other big teams like that, that they don't know how to, I think, develop talent. They just expect talent to kind of rise to the occasion and stay there. And I think, I think what happens is that those players move on and they end up popping off somewhere else. Yeah. We've seen that a lot. We've seen that a lot with the Lakers. I would love to see a stat. Very good at drafting. But you have to cultivate that talent. Yeah. You can't just say we're going to give them 2 years and then cut bait if they're not a superstar. That's a silly way to look at it. Especially given the players that we just listed.
Yeah.
That I think like
come through the organization. Yeah.
That you would be happy to have any of those people on your team. I don't know. It must be frustrating.
You
I
know
mean,
what,
I know you don't want a
John?
championship.
It's pretty
but it
frustrating.
must be frustrating.
I feel the way that I'm sure people felt after the 02-03 season.
Yeah.
When for the Lakers after the year after the three-peat, where it was it was Kobe, Shaq, and some guys who you'd heard of.
Right.
But then like I love overreacting like this because it's been literally 4 games, and
it's really good. It's fun to overreact.
Yeah, and I said on the first episode of this show that this team wasn't going to show up until Christmas. But I love feeling like shit when I watch my Lakers every single day. It's pretty cool. How are your Mavs doing with Jason?
At the I've never been more disappointed in a 3-1 team. It is our 3 victories have come at the expense of, I would guess, 3 of the bottom 6 teams in the league. We got our asses handed to us by Atlanta on our opening night, and then barely beat Toronto. Kind of snuck away with victory in with Houston on our home opener, and I think we beat San Antonio by 5 last night. In a game that we were once down by 20 points.
Gotcha, Hornet chat. Says maybe if we win enough, Rick Carlisle will come back. Maybe.
I would love that. Listen, like you have to win against the bad teams.
Yes.
So I'm happy that we did that. I am impressed that we came from 20 behind. That 20-point deficit was very early in the game. Yeah. I need to be clear, but still, you get down by 20, you can start to tell yourself a story about the way that game is going to go, and we didn't do that. Luka shot more than 50% last night, which is a drastic departure from his first 3 games. So he looked pretty good. Maxi Kleber is, I think, averaging 4 made threes a game, which is strange. That's odd, but I'll take it. I'll take it from our stretch 5.
Yeah.
That's fine. And this is all without Kristaps Porzingis, who
injured, huh?
Yeah, injured, huh?
Injured, Kristaps Porzingis.
So it absolutely we should have traded him in the offseason for maybe Buddy Hield and a collection of other players. Maybe I would have. Not that this would have happened or that it would make sense for Sacramento to make this trade, but if they had sent us Tyrese Halliburton and Buddy Hield for Kristaps Porzingis, that's a fair trade. I would have absolutely loved that, but it didn't happen. So,
what if they just
I guess we're stuck with Kristaps, because Kristaps is proto Ben Simmons in the sense of we are paying so much for a player that we're gonna have to lie through our teeth about why he's so good when we try to trade him.
Yeah, but I think Mark Cuban is smarter than
I agree with that.
Than
no argument
Philly's
there.
Ownership, and he will not attempt to throw Kristaps under the bus while he's also in the negotiation process.
Yeah, correct. He's better than that. Yeah, for sure.
But you are winning. You have a positive record.
Yeah, 3-1. I'm happy about it. I'm happy about it, but I am scared to death. We played Denver tonight on ESPN.
That's an L for you.
That's an L for sure. And yeah.
Well, Jokic is out.
Jokic is out. And Michael Porter Jr. looks terrible. So I don't know. Maybe that's a dub. I don't know. One of the most inconsistent young players in the league. I wish he would get his shit together and string some consistent, because I watched that entire Jazz Nuggets game a few nights ago, and man, that must have been a frustrating game for the Nuggets. Yeah. I mean, that Jazz team did not look like a world beater to me with my eyeballs.
Yeah.
But Denver could still not put enough together to get that. Yeah. So frustrating.
That's tough. Let's move to our second topic, which is the rule changes and how they've kind of affected a handful of players. And by a handful, I mean
the exact
2 players.
The exact player, the exact players the rule was basically created for, the ones that are being affected by this.
It's really interesting. So if you have not been following the NBA or just need a reminder, over the offseason, the NBA decided to change the rules such that when a player is attempting a shot, if any motion that they consider abnormal relative to shooting the basketball in the attempt to draw an offensive foul, they will not call it.
Right.
So you're only however, the flip side of that I feel like nobody talks about is that you have way more protections on your way down than you used to also.
Correct.
So like LeBron in the second game got a flagrant 1 because he closed out too fast.
Yeah.
So they go together. James Harden, who has more free throw attempts than shot attempts.
Yeah.
In his career, has looked fucking awful.
It's looked pretty bad.
And then, as an attempt to kind of hide James Harden, Steve Nash and Mike D'Antoni have tried to have him play off ball.
Mm-hmm.
He has no idea what to do. Mm-hmm. He looks like me out there.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about this, John? What's it like watching James Harden kind of become bad at basketball overnight?
It's interesting because I never want rule changes to do this exact thing of basically make a player inert, essentially. So on one hand, I'm kind of like, is this such a thing that you need to do? But at the other, if folks don't know, when you go up to make a shot, obviously if you pump fake it and then your defender leaps above you, what you would see forever is that if you fake someone out and they go up, those players would then jump into that person to draw a foul. And I think that's fine. If your guy gets off his feet, you got him.
Yeah.
Like that's like a totally valid play. You rope-a-doped him, you're gonna go up, draw a foul, see if you can shoot it. What was happening with Harden and Trae Young, I think Harden's a worse offender, but Trae Young still does it quite a bit. Is they will the defender doesn't have to leave their feet. James Harden will just absolutely mosh pit into this guy's chest while he makes a shot, and they would call that a foul very often. And to Nikki's point, would get to the line more than anyone else by far. And that rule was basically created. They created some flopping rules that really affected Manu Ginobili, but it wasn't quite the same.
Yeah. It also didn't. Yeah, it didn't. They instituted the rules, and you were like, "This is gonna change basketball," and then you were like,
It was fine.
Still flop.
Because you know what? Manu Ginobili is still a very good basketball player, whether he's flopping or not.
Yeah. And also, the only thing that resulted from that is now they sell harder.
Yes. So, exactly. Yeah.
It's not. They didn't really work. They just went to the pro wrestling school of over.
Bumping. Yeah. They learned how to bump in the off season, so they're just doing some wild shit. Yeah. I think it's kind of sad, but on the other hand, I am kind of like,
is James Harden a fucking fraud? Yes.
I mean, it's a
legitimate question. It does make you think. I think there's a handful of things happening.
Yeah.
He is still coming back from a hamstring injury that was very bad.
Yes.
I think the Nets did a pretty good job, the same way the Clippers have done an incredible job of making you forget that Kawhi Leonard is not playing this year.
Yep.
I think the Nets did a pretty good job of hiding the fact that he was basically functioning on one leg at the end of the season last year and is back, but is probably at 40 or 50%. He is not moving at full speed. Like
No, he's not.
even when he is playing his game, he is not moving at full speed. Which I'm sure if you were to ask James Harden or ask Steve Nash, like, why the fuck is James Harden so bad off ball? They would be like, well, it's because he can't run that good on account of the fact that his hamstring's still sick.
Which might be true. Yeah.
It's not, though. He just doesn't have any off ball skills because he hasn't needed to develop them ever.
I mean, he wasn't the primary ball handler those years in Oklahoma City, though. You know, like
Right.
he's had time, but I guess it has been a while.
It's been a while. He hasn't done So I'm looking at his basketball reference page. He was on Oklahoma City when he was not the primary ball handler, literally 10 years ago.
Right.
He had 9 years in Houston where he was the number one guy.
He was the guy. Yep.
And crafted his game. People found out how good James Harden was when he was in Houston.
Yes.
So, like, the meme, like, what if you had KD, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden didn't have the teeth it has right now until like 2014.
Right.
So, I just think that he has no idea how to play that. He never learned it because he didn't need to.
Right.
And now it's like, how do you teach a 32-year-old like off-ball skills?
And would he be willing to have that conversation?
Yeah. Now, the last time I said that about Carmelo Anthony before he signed with the Trailblazers.
I was about to flip around and say, like, I think this is an overreaction. He'll be fine.
Oh, for sure.
I think he's
yeah.
Like, they'll figure this out. I also think it's completely reasonable to say that some of this stuff isn't noticeable unless Kyrie Irving isn't playing.
Yeah,
and that's still a problem for the Nets that they have yet to solve.
Yeah, Patty Mills is the distributor on that team, and I love Patty Mills.
Yeah, but he's not a one. I mean, he's not a starter.
No.
I would say a very good depth piece, a very good backup in that position. But yeah, I don't think he's on an elite level.
Yeah, that's also not why he did not sign to be starter. Patty Mills.
No.
He was under the impression that he was going to be behind Kyrie Irving.
He signed up to be probably the best backup point guard in the league, which is like that's nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he didn't sign up to be ahead of Kyrie while Kyrie's just chilling.
You think? How do you feel? You saw the that they tried to break into Barclays, or like they tried to storm the doors at Barclays last week.
Who did?
This week,
I didn't see this.
Anti-vax people who were like, "Let Kyrie play." They like swarmed security at the doors to Barclays, and then we're like,
I didn't see that. What did they do? Give people measles?
They tried to. Yeah, they just had like little tabs like acid.
Wow.
Measles.
I'm gonna give you rubella. I'm not gonna get it.
I drank the juice.
I drank the juice. Sorry.
Yeah, no, they were trying to just get into the building, and then security was like, No.
What are you doing?
We simply will not let you in. We have metal barricades to prevent you from entering the building. We will simply push them into you, such that you disperse, and they eventually dispersed.
And
but just a weird. The beginning of the season, weird. I think it always is weird, but this one just feels especially weird.
Yeah, it feels like a confluence of, I think, stranger, more out of the box events for sure. Yeah.
Now, John, it is time for the third segment.
Yeah.
The C block of this show.
Yeah.
Where we talk about advertisements.
Yeah.
On the National Basketball Association League Pass service.
Yeah.
I have one question before we begin.
Sure.
Where do you watch most of your League Pass?
On my desktop.
On your computer. Interesting.
Yes.
So I watch it mostly on my television.
Okay.
And there is an ad that I don't know what it is, but the file type for the advertisement is not compatible with the app on my television because every time it runs, it crashes the whole app.
Oh no.
And then I have to start over.
That's terrible.
And then I have to go through the whole fucking process again, and then I have to watch one of these
really bad.
terrible advertisements.
Can you send a bug report to Adam Silver?
I
or
would
no?
love to. There's no way to do that from within the app, so I might just tweet at the NBA and see if they can fix it. John Warren, what is your least favorite advertisement of the 7 available on NBA League Pass? Which is your least favorite?
Well, there are a lot of the national ads that I don't like, but I mean, these are all local broadcasts, right? So I would say North Carolina's broadcasting advertising game pretty weak.
Pretty weak.
Yeah, a lot of chiropractors in the Carolina area I
Yeah.
don't have any familiarity with and will never see or know. Those are pretty bad. I did forget that I do have to put on a VPN in order to watch Mavericks games. I do think that is a new development.
Wait, is there does it overlap?
We're now in the blackout area, I guess.
Oh, Dallas got bigger. That makes that makes sense.
Yeah, well, now it's part of it used to be on Fox Sports Net and now it's on
Bally's.
Bally's.
Yeah.
Okay. But so I set my VPN to New York to watch the Mavs game the other day. And I did get I was doing something else. I was cooking or something. And I heard these people yeah, you just got to get the vaccine. The vaccine's going to help us all. And I'm like, what is that? What am I?
Mm-hmm. What is that?
What ad is this?
Yeah.
And I realized it's just a Get Vaccinated New York campaign where everyone's just you gotta get it. I'm like, all right.
There's one vaccine ad where it shows a guy dead in the hospital, and then while it shows him dead in the hospital, he's like, I died 4 times. Anyway, get the vaccine. And it's and it's
that would also fuck me up. That would also fuck me up because he's still
in the hospital when they had him record the fucking advertisement. By the way,
he's in the hospital and the camera is here, and he's like, I died 4 times in the hospital, and I was like. It was really disturbing.
It's so jarring because immediately before that you'll get I didn't really think about how much conceptually I hated the idea of the Charmin bear until the beginning of this basketball season. Because they're just horny for the toilet paper.
They are okay. This is a family show.
No, it's not.
But they are it's not. But they are so excited about rubbing their buttholes with this
toilet paper. They talk about how it's a treat. It's a the toilet paper is a reward for shitting.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That's how they talk about it.
It makes
and
them
they say, "Holy Charmin!"
It makes them It makes them so happy they float.
Yeah.
On the couch.
Awful bears.
They don't even have buttholes.
They do.
You can't see them.
Wait, what do you mean they don't have buttholes?
Because they show the butt of the bear, but there is not visible.
Because they got fur all over it. Yeah.
You would still be able to see it.
Let me ask you this. When was the last time that you saw a bear butthole?
A bear butthole? Never, I guess.
Okay.
I see my dog's butthole every day though, and she's still got fur.
Dogs are fucking dirty birds. They're showing you their buttholes all the time.
Every day. Dogs are basically just small bears.
Yeah, that's true. They are small bears.
The Slack one fucking sucks. I think I've talked about this one.
That Slack one's bad, yeah.
The Slack one, it's the first noise in the advertisement is the Slack notification.
It's a Slack noise, which is
should
awful.
be illegal.
That should be illegal.
The same way that they made the Alexa and Google Home ads. There's a noise in them because for the first year and a half, they were allowed to activate your own shit off of the TV.
Yes.
And now they can't do that because the government said No.
Right.
That one should also be illegal.
It's like putting an ambulance siren in a song that plays on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It's exactly. It should be illegal for the same reasons.
Yeah.
The Reclusive
bad.
85 says that bears have huge buttholes.
I know. I believe this.
Yeah. Bears are
I
really
believe
big.
this. Yeah.
Have you ever seen a bear up close?
Like personally?
Like I guess like also at the zoo, not like in the.
Yeah. I've seen bears at the zoo. Sure. Yeah.
I think I've probably seen a black bear, but I don't remember. But when my brain was like bear, it's always polar bear in aquarium.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Those guys can't be happy, right?
No, unfortunately not. No. I do want to throw them like a bottle of Coke and be like, "I'll build a sled for you," and see like
drink up, dumbass. Yeah. I think that this country needs to like take a step back and think about our advertising practices.
I agree. Yeah. Stop most of them.
To stop most of them. Like I think the fact that we have drug commercials is actually a fun thing in this country.
Okay.
Because like when my friend Emily, who lives in Australia, no other country has drug commercials.
No, this is just an us thing.
Because it doesn't make any sense. But I always think it's funny that a person that the drug manufacturers think that a human being on this earth exists who has like the very specific flavor of melanoma that is also rheumatoid arthritis somehow, that that their doctors don't know about this new drug that has specifically been created for this. I just think that it's funny that people think that person exists.
I watched a movie the other day that's 10 years old, and it's called Love and Other Drugs, and it was about Jake Gyllenhaal as a drug rep, having a relationship with a Parkinson's patient played by Anne Hathaway. It was terrible in that movie.
Word?
And I guess what?
It said word, really? She didn't really have the kind of the chops to pull that one off.
She just, I don't know. She plays the same person in every movie. Anyway, I've said it. How this movie says the drug trade works is that doctors don't know shit about drugs, and it's actually the sales reps that come in that actually tell the doctors, hey, did you know that Zoloft has like 20% less outburst rate than Prozac or whatever? And then the doctor's got to go, word, and then decide whether or not they're going to start prescribing more Zoloft than Prozac, which like was a really, I don't know if that's true, but I just watched this movie the whole time thinking, well, that'd be fucked up if that's
you know what, John, that would in fact be fucked up.
Yeah, but it wasn't the biggest stretch I've ever conceived
You know why?
of.
You know why it seems plausible though, because why would they exist otherwise?
Exactly.
Why would that profession exist otherwise if it didn't?
In a for-profit medicine business, what else would that?
It's gotta be how it works then, huh?
Yeah, bummer, huh?
But like, why don't they advertise albuterol on TV? Like, if that's the situation, like, why aren't there like 6 manufacturers of albuterol, and then I can go into my doctor and be like, I want Falbuterol, which is a specialized version of it.
Albuterol is the resulting prescription of a very obvious condition, right?
Right.
You're young, you run a mile, and you go. And so someone notices that you can't breathe, and you go to the doctor.
They just throw
and then they're like, you need albuterol because you have asthma. Like the stuff on TV is always like, do you have a leaky butthole with brain tumor? I'm like, well, that's a very specific and private conversation.
But yes, TV, I do.
But I do have that. And so then you're expected to take that information to your doctor and be like, I have the leaky butthole brain tumor thing. Can I
also, did you know that I have the leaky butthole and also the brain tumor?
Yeah.
I just found out I had the brain tumor. Did you know that?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's the idea. Although that's bullshit too. I mean, come on.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
I don't know. Anyway, we should keep those on TV.
Yeah.
John, do you have any?
That was our basketball.
That's a basketball podcast. You got anything else, John?
No, I still think the Hornets lost their first game this week. They're still a blast to watch. So if you have League Pass, I think is it the Hornets and Heat
Today?
No, is that what? I don't remember.
Hold on, I'm looking it up. Here's today's National Basketball Association schedule for Friday.
Thank you.
October 29th.
Yeah, I was right.
Yeah, Heat's Hornets, Magic Raptors.
You should watch that game.
You should watch Heat Hornets. Don't watch any of the other games today, actually.
I would say almost none of today's games.
Don't watch any of them. Just watch
I would say
Hornets, Heat, and then like go do something with your Halloween.
Go do something else. But it's at 6:30 Central, so 7:30 Eastern. Actually, don't do that. You should watch tonight's.
Oh yeah, it's on League
stream.
Pass, so you can watch it later.
You can watch it later, but you should watch tonight's stream here on twitch.tv/fanbyte with the Resident Evil crew. We're going to have a giveaway in our Discord. Join the Discord. You've seen it on this thing. But later, you should watch that Charlotte-Miami game because I think that's going to be a good one.
There's only one good game tomorrow, too. It's Celtics-Wizards.
The combos of games early this year, save for a few of them, like that Boston-New York one.
Yeah.
And
I think they did that on purpose.
Yeah, we haven't hit a great combo yet, I feel like.
Looking at the schedule, I'm now on Sunday. I cannot recommend that any human being watch any of the games on Halloween. On November 1st, Bulls Celtics will be good.
Bulls Celtics will be fun.
That's it. Just the one. Yeah, so maybe actually folks just kind of don't watch the NBA for a couple days.
And then Tuesday, November 2nd, it's Miami at Dallas. I think that's the only one worth watching.
Hornets Warriors.
Well, when is that?
That's on the 3rd.
That's on the 3rd.
Hornets Warriors is my
Hornets Warriors definitely good.
Is a good game on the 3rd. Anyway, folks, thank you so much for hanging out. We will be back in a couple of hours with another stream. I need to hop into the VMix Minds. John, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Floppy Adult. I will also be back in a little while to play some Skies of Arcadia, and then Merritt will be here to play Bloodborne, and then we'll have that Resident Evil stream.
Let's go. You can find me on Twitter at Godzilla. It's on the screen. Tell your friends about the video game podcast. Sign up for the PlayStation Vita newsletter that we have going now. We're pivoting as part of our 3rd birthday. We're pivoting to it being an exclusively Vita driven website.
Vita means life.
Vita means life. Thank you so much for hanging out. We'll be back in a little bit with video game Skies of Arcadia, and we'll see y'all in the hoop.
Bye. We live